It is 5:30 on the East Coast. It is 2:30 on the West Coast. It is the 29th of October in the year of our Lord 2023. Season 5, episode 14, 179 times. You have been welcome to the Cheap Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things professional wrestling, live from homes. That's what I got. Okay. Welcome. My name is Rob. I am the executive producer of the Cheap Podcast. And we got a lot to talk about on both shows this week. Alex out on assignment. He should be back next week. That way, got it right the first time, is the official fact checker of Sooner or Gator Productions. And a man who just wants his leader's belt returned. You may know him as Igbunu, but his mama named him Don Ford. I'm going to call him Don Ford. Hey, man.
All it takes is Tony Khan going saying, give me the belt. Give it here.
Don't stop putting reality in this. Stop it.
I know.
I'm not going to publicize this until it happens this year on social media, but just know this is the last time until we have a show, December 9th-ish or 10th or 11th, that my face will look like this.
Oh, yeah.
If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll find out on Wednesday.
And you get a lot of respect from me from doing that every year.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate it very much. We do it for awareness, and we'll talk about that on Wednesday. Yeah. You can follow me at Yes That Rob Irvin, and you can watch the journey for the next month.
That's spelled Ervin.
That's correct. I appreciate you knowing how to spell my last name because it is something I'm fairly sensitive to. We are 6 days away from Crown Jewel, Don.
6 days.
I have a very interesting piece of trivia for you as it pertains to Crown Jewel. Unless something changes in the next 5 days, this will be the very first Crown Jewel ever without Brock Lesnar.
I read that.
I didn't even think about that. And then I saw it and I was like, and then they showed it. I was like, yeah, I didn't even think
the last one, I think the last one, he didn't have an official match, but made an appearance from what I guess. But the other ones, there was only one where he made an appearance, but the other ones he had scheduled matches. So
allegedly the company interested in Will Ospreay. I don't know that that's a good fit because I like Will Ospreay kind of in not WWE, if that makes sense.
So you say the company, to our new listeners, you're talking WWE.
I am indeed.
Ospreay. I said this when I was at All in Wembley, talking to one of the local guys sitting next to me during his match with the Ocho. And I said to him, he, of the new younger generation, in my opinion, he's the best wrestler in any wrestling organization.
I'm not going to debate you. He's great.
Yeah. And
he's one of those ones I saw in his original run through Ring of Honor. He's one of those people that Japan did him wonders, just like Switchblade, just like Zack Sabre Jr., like all of these guys that you see and you're like, I can see potential, but I don't know. Japan is the place for guys like that to really refine people like the Hardys. Like you can go back for years and years and years and look at the number of guys who floundered a little bit in America and then went to Japan for a year or two and then came back and were just gangbusters. And Ospreay's one of those guys. I just don't know if I see him fitting in the company. I just don't.
I don't either, because this guy here, I like how he's kind of that free spirit, how he could be on Impact and give one hell of a match like he did at Bound for Glory. If you saw it on, which you might, I don't know if you can Wrestle Talk later.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, but that was a very good technical match, which I've seen him in live before all that. How he could just come in and out and he's not expected and he's not permanently in one thing. If they put him in the company, or if he goes with the company, my worry is he's going to be left at that level of Ricochet. You think about that.
Okay.
I think they would not go more than basically Ricochet for this guy. I hate to say it.
But I think there's a lot of guys you can say that about, that they're hunting, and guys that are in the company right now besides Ricochet.
Yeah.
I see this as, yes, this guy is talented, and I appreciate that the company recognized him as talented.
Yeah.
But I feel like that signing would be more stacking the deck than anything else.
And I think he's better as a free spirit, kind of coming and going as he is, going to the UK, going to Impact, going to ROH, going to AEW, going all around. I think that's what I like about him best about that.
I think you're looking for the phrase you're looking for is free agent.
Free agent big time.
Yeah. Free spirit a little bit different, but I can see where you're going with that. Speaking of overseas, it was announced this week, August 31st, 2024, at the Mercedes-Benz Arena, there will be a plea called the Bash in Berlin, which, if I'm not mistaken, is right around the same time they did Clash at the Castle last year. So like late August, early September.
Hold on. So, what's the date of the Berlin thing?
August 31st of next year. Which
of next year.
That would probably be a Saturday.
Okay.
Which would probably be Labor Day weekend by my math, which would also make that about, like I said, last year, Clash at the Castle, I think, was the holiday weekend as well.
Clash, it was on September 3rd, 2022.
Yep. That would have been Labor Day week.
So this one would be Berlin then.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, we are hearing that Paris might be your location for Backlash next year.
Backlash.
No, that's not the same one, Don.
I know. I'm trying to do something my own.
No.
No. Okay.
Do not apply the same bit to multiple pleas.
Okay.
That cheapens the bit, and it cheapens.
Okay.
Right now, another strange headline this week. SummerSlam has not been set for next year. We know it's going to be in August because that's when it is. Right now, Cleveland is your front runner for SummerSlam, because when I think the biggest party of the summer, I think Alex's favorite state in the union.
But they're on Lake Erie. You got the lake, you got the beach.
Why wouldn't you do Halloween Havoc there? Because then it would be Lake Erie, and you can add an extra E at the beginning.
So wait a month then.
I'm just saying.
Give them different play. Give Survivor Series there.
Why not?
Yeah.
We want to send a special shout out coming up because it's almost November. November 11th is Veterans Day. The company has said if you have a live event near you in the month of November with your valid veteran ID, you get a free ticket.
Oh, really?
Yep. They're doing that this year. Did you see the pictures of the construction of the new headquarters?
So
the company's new headquarters. There's some of the early pictures of the inside have been released.
Oh, at the new. Now, where's that at now?
It's not that far from where they're not moving very far.
So it's still in Connecticut then?
Yes.
Okay.
The break room has a big Snack Down logo in it.
Snack.
So I thought that was kind of cool. And they built a huge replica of the Universal title out front. There's a picture. There's a really cool picture. Actually, I'll pull it up for you, Don, if you'd like to see it. Let's see. Oh, I remembered I searched for it recently. God, thank you, Google. I thought you would dig. Oh, here's a dual picture. Okay. Let's do that. And then I will share my screen here so you can see it. This one. To show you how large that belt is, Don.
Oh, yeah.
That is Jade Cargill standing in front of it, and this is her standing in one of the hallways of the new headquarters.
Wow, high dollar.
Yeah, they're doing a lot over there.
Again, they own that building?
I don't know if Endeavor owns it or not, because they had already planned the move before the sale. So I don't know how the logistics of all of that are working out. Let's get into Monday Night Raw. Alex and I were there Monday night hanging out. Thank you, Alex and Sean and everybody for letting me tag along. We were sitting in the Ford Mustang Club section, and so we were behind the camera. If you're the cameraman, we were behind you and up to the right. A friend of the show, Ricardo, was kind of where Charlotte and I were last time. Charlotte and Kale were a little bit closer than we were last time. I was hearing reports. Don, did you watch Raw on TV?
Yeah, I did.
How did the crowd sound when you watched it?
Normal.
A lot of people were saying the crowd sounded very dead, but I've also heard reports that they were muting the crowd a lot because it was game 6 of it was the final game, I'm sorry, of the ALCS.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of Rangers chants and the Astro chants, and that they were hushing a lot of those on the feed. There was a luxury box. We did see friend of the show, Brian Kluger, came by and said hello. Their suite was just a little bit over from where we were. The suite next to them at one point had the game on, but the arena told them they had to shut it off because of an agreement between WWE and the arena that other broadcasts can't be seen on camera. So I will neither confirm nor deny that the guy that was in the front row of our section had his phone sitting on the rail with the game on it. So
that's funny.
You got that going for you. But it was a great show. There was an experiment I wanted to perform and did you've heard me saying for the last couple of months how I'm not sure if the booing is piped in for Dominic or not.
Yeah, I was going to want to ask about that when he came out.
I can only speak for Dallas.
Okay.
Because, again, I was there. But it did not appear that the boos were being piped in. Because it was a loud crowd. But now, is it possible that they might have turned his mic down a little bit? Just a little bit. But it definitely was not piped in.
Yeah, that's one thing. I actually think that is real. I mean, with technology, they can always do so much. But every week where it gets in, I think, honestly, I think a lot of that is legit. And I think that, he's just put over so well like that he's becoming that perfect heel that everybody hates. Nobody likes.
That just means he's doing his job right.
And even Triple H said it best. It's like, you always heard that no, this is real.
When he said that, I was like, no, I'd like to prove that for myself. During one of the breaks, as you know, Don, because you've been there before, they like to put the camera on some of the signs in the crowd. Sign guy was there, but he was way up from where he normally is. Yeah, he was up against the rail in the first row. Alex has now, because Alex does not like signs, but he has given sign guy a pass because when they put the camera on him, sign guy's sign said, "Good news, Taylor Swift is not here." So Alex has given him a pass. Right after that, though, it about broke me. They cut to this kid. He had to have been maybe 8 or 9, holding up a sign that just said, "I love hot moms." And that got a huge pop in the crowd.
That's funny.
But I not much else to talk about on Raw unless you've got anything. But I do have one thing that you didn't see.
What's that?
I just want to make sure, unless you had any notes before I did it.
No.
So, Don, I don't know if you read about this. If you have, just roll with me.
Okay.
What is the largest item you have ever seen signed at a wrestling event? And this is how Alex presented it when we told this story on Friday night, so I give him credit for this.
I would probably say maybe the DX bus.
The bus?
Signed, yeah.
For a fan?
Oh, no, for a fan. Oh, no, okay.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay, I would probably say the DX Jeep for the guy who actually owns it, who let him use it.
Okay, all right. So the entire show, I don't know if this came across on television, but the entire show, people were chanting for tables.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of tables were found at this show.
No.
After the show went off the air, Jay and Cody stayed in the ring. And Cody thanked everybody for being there, talked about how great it was to be back in Texas, blah, blah, blah. And there was a kid, if you're the cameraman, on the back right corner of the ring.
Okay.
Who had a sign saying it was his first WWE live event and he was there to see Jey Uso.
Okay.
So Cody pulled a table out from under a ring. he and Jay signed the table and they gave it to the kid.
Oh, that's cool.
An unbroken table, Don.
That is cool.
I have questions. How did he get it home first? I hope they had a truck because it was also kind of rainy.
Okay.
Because I was on the train and that would have annoyed everybody on the train.
I still would have brought it on. I don't care.
I would have still done it, and I'm sure people would have taken pictures with it.
Yeah.
I also would have had to schlep it all the way down to the train station. I'd been like, can I borrow a dolly?
Yeah.
But we thought that was pretty. Jay apparently signed. Alex saw it. I didn't. Apparently, Jay signed his name like huge on the table. Somebody threw him a Sharpie. It was a nice moment.
Because you got to figure the table is probably about 6 foot.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, if you put down the back seats in like even a Nissan Rogue, you might be able to get most of it down or close. It might be, or if you lift it at an angle, you know what I'm saying?
It was still rainy out.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'd want to take that thing home.
And I have issues with Michael Cole.
What's new now? What?
Well, because you know how they always do main event first. They do like that first 30 minutes. You do a couple matches for main event.
Yeah.
The Hall of Famer known as Byron Saxton is on that broadcast team.
Okay.
And Cole was coming out as Saxton was walking backstage, and Saxton went up for the high five, and Cole just walked by him. Do not disrespect that Hall of Famer, Michael Cole. That's all I'm saying.
Future Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer. Whether it's future, he will be there because Byron Saxton, former Gator great, sir. First night of Halloween Havoc I was going to wear my Halloween Havoc shirt, but then I was like, no, but I like my Peanut shirt, and it's the last Sunday before Halloween. So, and plus I didn't want to go find it. It's been a crazy day today. We'll talk a little bit about that in the other show too. Actually,
okay.
We'll put that in the run sheet.
Add that in there. Yeah. So how would it rank above? How was the crowd on this one though?
It wasn't the best crowd I've ever been a part of. I think you and I both know what 2 nights that was.
Yeah.
But it was a good crowd. I think part of it was because Rangers Astros was going on and people were getting fired up I think that helped the crowd. But it was a good crowd.
Yeah, because sometimes that Dallas crowd could be subdued, and like the last WrestleMania that was here, the night after that left, it wasn't near the night after WrestleMania compared to other ones.
The first one that you and I went to.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
That crowd was out of control. But the crowd that Alex and I were part of last year, that was a good crowd, but it wasn't as good as that one.
No, not even close. That one's kind of disappointing for me, honestly.
Yeah, that crowd you and I were part of is up there probably with the only time I got to see one of 2 times, because I got to see Nitro twice. Once at Reunion, once at American Airlines Center. When I saw them at Reunion Arena, that is one of the hottest crowds I've ever been a part of, ever. On any event. It was nuts. But NXT Halloween Havoc Night 1 with this past week. They had the band that played the theme open the show, which I thought was cool. Don't get it twisted. They were not live. There were no mics on the drums. And the guitarist, there were no amps to be found. But it still looked pretty cool. And apparently they're going to be back this week. And I like that song. I kind of dig that song. So I thought Shotzi's Pinhead costume was cool. I don't know if
I lost part of the recording, just to let you know. I didn't see it all.
No, she had a pin. You should probably look that up. It looks it was one of the best costumes I've seen her do. We opened with the Devil's Playground match, featuring the unforgiving plastic slide. But the ending of the match was cool because Roxanne Perez did her version of the Canadian Destroyer onto Kiana James onto her Louis Vuitton bag. So that was kind of neat. Kind of surprised to see Ariana Grace job in the breakout tournament. I really thought she would win that match.
How far do you think she would have gone?
Well, there's only one more round.
What?
There was only one more round. That was the semifinal.
Do you think she would have won the whole thing, though?
If she had passed that match, I would have put it on her.
Oh, you would? Okay.
We have new tag champs. Chase U are your new NXT tag champs. So we're going to see how that works out this week. With a strange ending with JC Jane on the apron and she was holding the crowbar, but then fell off. It was a very strange. It didn't seem like it went as planned. That's all I'm saying. I did like the use of the towel as a red herring, pun intended. But I might have booked it a little bit differently, but that's okay. I am wondering if Blair Davenport is getting fined for throwing a chair at Gigi Dolan's head.
In real life, real fine?
I'm wondering because remember, if you give somebody a chair shot to the head, you get fined in WWE.
Yeah.
Blair Davenport threw a chair at that woman's head that went outside of the ring and hit the announce table.
Ouch.
So I don't know if she's getting fined or not.
What happened? I missed part of that. What happened was we had a electrical outlets on our side of the street. So my DVR with all the storms and everything.
The good thing about having a cloud DVR is I don't have to worry about that. Especially shout out to YouTube TV, no free ads, but I still have no complaints about YouTube TV. I'm not kidding you, Don. You might want to look at it and see how it compares price to what you guys are paying for Uverse, since you're one of the 12 people left that have Uverse.
It's Uverse, though.
I know, no, believe me, you're not going to hear me debate. You know how much I love my Uverse. It's just not expensive. You might get away a lot cheaper with YouTube TV. That's all I'm saying.
It's an idea.
And if you really keep wanting to spend that money, you just send it to me, Don. It's fine. I think Ilya Dragunov is doing some of the best character work I've seen him do lately. Like, I loved him in NXT UK, but something about since he's come overseas, across the pond, if you will.
Yeah.
His character in this version of NXT seems to be given a little bit more to work with. I don't know if that's Sean. I don't know if that's Regal. I don't know who it is. But his character is really, really developing nicely, and I'm enjoying it very much. Got a little freaked out with Shotzi and Scarlett as the twins from The Shining. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. We had a Sarah Schreiber sighting.
But, them doing the twins, it's that time of year.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Shotzi.
Shotzi said she's got more planned for Tuesday night, so we'll see how that goes. We had a Sarah Schreiber sighting who used to follow me on Twitter. I don't know if she still does or not. I'm assuming that the girl that was cosplaying Tiffany Stratton was Fallon Henley. Whoever it was really good. I was impressed. Akira Tozawa continuing to live his best life, stealing the Heritage Cup. Because Akira Tozawa.
Do what he has to do.
And I will say, Braun Breaker as a heel, he's doing great work.
What would you do with him?
I think he's perfect right where he is right now. I would wait to move him until after the Rumble. He is another dark horse for me to win the Rumble.
Oh, you think he'll win the Rumble this year?
Dark horse. I didn't say he's my prediction.
Okay.
That's only the second time I've used that phrase. But he's one that if he did win, it wouldn't shock me. Because that's, to me, a great way to bring him up. Because I don't know that we have never done that. Have we, Don, where an NXT person has won the Rumble and then come up to the main roster?
No, not by winning the Rumble.
Why not? I think it'd be a great booking.
And
let
him
come in 24, 25.
Now, do you see him? Would you take it? Would you do January 24? He wins the Rumble. Would you take him against Seth or Roman?
Seth
as the heel.
Roman has to be Cody. It just has to at this point, in my opinion. And we'll get to that in a minute when we get to SmackDown. Because I don't want to bury the lead on that.
Okay.
But I think it has to be Cody. for Roman because that finishes the story. And did you at least get to see the main event on NXT, Don?
No, the power went out. That's what I'm saying.
You need to go back to however you can watch it. I don't know if it's on YouTube. It probably
Peacock may have it.
I don't know if Peacock has it yet, but when they do, go back and watch that women's title match. That was an one of the two best matches of the week, in my opinion. Did not expect it to end like it did, but I'm kind of glad that it did. Is it okay if I just say it?
Yeah, go for it. It's
Hashtag right. And new.
So what?
Maya Valkyria is your new NXT Women's Champion.
That's over the man?
Yep. And that match was 25 minutes if it was nothing.
They give the whole thing, huh?
They did a great match. And I knew it was going to be a good match because I've been a fan of Valkyria since she was, I can never say the first name right, but her last name was just Valkyrie when she was in NXT UK. Incredibly talented. She and Becky have a history, which made that match even more fun to watch. It was really, really good. That could be in contention for one of the best matches of the year, in my opinion.
So you think it might be nominated for the Slammy?
I think it's if they do it, because they didn't do it last year, did they?
Hold on. Slammy, let me check.
I think they've done it in 2 or 3 years. I can't remember the last time they did a Slammy Awards. I know NXT does their own. It could win an NXT award because they do their own award show every year. Because there was one year where Undisputed Era won like almost every single one.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up. Yeah, it looks like it's. I think they stopped in 2020. Yeah, 2020.
Okay. NWA news. Congrats. He was also one of the guys on Heels. He got married last weekend to longtime girlfriend Sonia Saini. I hope I said that right. Saini. And last night was Samhain, your latest NWA pay-per-view. Matt Cardona showed up and ran his mouth and then got speared by Camille. The only belt that changed hands, was the U.S. Tag Team titles as the Immortals defeated Daisy Kill and Talos. No other belts moved. So you got that going for you, which is nice. Big announcement from AEW this week. We are getting a December pay-per-view, Don.
Really?
World's End will be on pay-per-view December 30th in New York. So here is my question to you, Don. With the way things have been going lately with AEW, now that we have a pay-per-view in December, New Year's weekend, do we have our second Blood and Guts of the year?
And do it on pay-per-view?
Yep. One in June, one in December. I'm saying yes. I'm saying this happens because with what they're doing with House of Black and everybody's taking sides and things, I think we get another Blood and Guts.
So who did House of Black? They attacked
everybody.
Yeah. Well, last week they attacked FTR.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, who they attack again also before that?
They've been doing every combinations because sometimes it's been one of them, sometimes it's been two, sometimes it's been three. Julia Hart showed back up this week.
Yeah.
As she's getting ready to be married. Excuse me. Still kind of getting rid of all this crap.
Yeah, I understand.
But I'm saying it now. Now that we have a pay-per-view announced, it will be in New York. Blood and Guts is going to happen that weekend.
Or do you think
that pay-per-view is going to do really good numbers because it's the holiday weekend?
Or do you think maybe they'll do some kind of variant and call it something different, or maybe it's just a full cage match with all 10 in there at once and just let them go at it instead of doing the every 2 minutes kind of thing?
I think that's the only way to do it, personally.
Or Stadium Stampede.
In December in New York?
They may do that because it's
Anarchy in the Arena would be at best bet. You're not going to put those guys at MetLife Stadium December 30th, where it's going to be 97 feet of snow. And
I'm
plus,
just trying to give an idea.
Well, we'd also have to look and see who's playing that weekend, because that's the time of year that the NFL's doing Saturday games too.
True.
So, some show notes from Dynamite. Your boy had a bit of a misfire, Don.
What was that?
MJF, when he was talking to the Acclaimed, and he said, I wouldn't tag with you if I was on fire, and then you were the person that could, like, it just, the promo got away from him.
Yeah, that one screwed up.
It was weird saying Darby was his best tag team partner. I was like, Luger was your best friend, bro. Like, and Sting said, I know what you're thinking, but come on. I like Darby Allin. Don't get me wrong.
Who'd you say? Who was the best friend? Did you say?
Luger is Sting's best friend. Was for decades, and they tagged it together and turned on each other in the whole nine. I like Darby Allin. I don't know that he's Sting's best tag team partner ever. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's new. It's only been a couple years, but he's been in many. I mean,
he's good. I'm a fan.
But no, I love Sting.
His best tag team partner ever. Let's see the paperwork on that.
Yeah. What to say here at the moment? I
do not like angles where guys go to other guys' houses. And there is a huge gap in wrestling logic that we have to talk about. I don't like the effects on this board.
What's that?
So they broke into the house. They're doing the thing. There's a noise in the baby's room. Swerve goes to the baby's room to talk trash. Can we assume that Hangman's wife was home?
Yeah. Who's going to leave a baby unattended?
That's what I'm saying. I don't like angles where guys go to other guys' houses. It's too much.
Because here's the thing. There's video of you breaking into somebody's house.
Don't leave that alone, because there's a tweet out there that I'm just like, I'm not even coming near this.
I mean, call law enforcement.
Let's move on.
Okay, I want to go back to something though. What are we going to talk about the Nature Boy?
You knew it was going to happen. Apparently, he's going to be on more times to help promote his Woo energy drink. I will say, I can honestly say, Flair is Sting's best opponent ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because when those, and Sting was right, Flair is the guy that put him on the map. Those two in a ring, you knew you were in for something special. From 87 to 94. And even on Flair's first box set, which I have, he talks about Sting and Steamboat were two of his favorite opponents of all time. I think he said, I've wrestled Ricky Steamboat like 10,000 times, because we would go on the road and we'd wrestle 3-4 house shows a week and then go do television.
Yeah, so like 5 times a week you're doing it.
Yeah.
6 times a week and you're doing it.
Sting even said it on Rampage. He's like, Flair taught me, I don't care how good of a friend you are with somebody, they will turn on you. I learned that from the dirtiest player in the game. I like that Flair was there. Don't let him in the ring.
Yeah, that's my thing. Do you think the final match will be him and Flair?
I have heard rumors of somebody that wants to be Sting's final match, and if that's the case, I'm here for it, because Ultimo Dragon wants to be that guy. I don't think it's going to be Flair.
Because what kind of match could they put on? I love
the last match the two of them did together was the final Nitro. I don't want to revisit that, much less 20 years later.
And what the condition of Flair? How can he go in the ring at that age?
It would have to be multiple tags. That's what he did for his last match. It was a 6-man tag. I like that Rick's there.
Yeah.
Just let him be there.
Be there at the final match, do the bit, be outside the ring, be part of that night, of course. But
I would love for them to do a special, like not a Hall of Fame per se, but just a Sting tribute night because you've got a lot of people under contract. Steamboat works for them. Arn works for them. You got Rick. Just get some of the people that would come and just talk about Sting that have helped shape his career.
And that's one thing I wanted, if we got time real fast. How are these, legends? I thought these guys were like legend deals with WWE.
Some are, but legends deals are very loose.
Are they?
Work. Yeah.
And so when they come to AEW, it's like maybe Tony Khan says, hey, we'll put you on for a couple of shows. That's it. Here's a contract. It's not going to be a 2-year thing unless it's something like Arn where they were doing an angle.
Well, and somebody like Rick, he owns his name. So,
yeah.
But I don't know if his Legends deal is still active. I know Luger's is.
And Luger, he
might be. I don't think he is, but just think about, get JR to talk, get Shivani to talk. Shivani was the Sting mark on television for years. That's all I'm saying. I loved in the main event the orange pudge turning into the swing. That was cool. And then when they did the hug, it just made me giggle. Let's go to Impact Wrestling unless you got anything else you want to talk about there.
Yeah, go ahead. This Jay White thing with the belt,
it'll be over in 3 weeks. Don't worry about it.
And my thing is, I love MJF, but lately this New Eagle, him kind of being halfway baby face now, don't like it. I love him more as the heel.
I dig it because he gets to be a little funnier, I guess you could say. I did not watch Impact because it was a Bound for Glory recap show. I was not going to waste an hour and a half of my life. I know what happened. I read the results.
I'll say this about the Impact that they showed the Ospreay match. That was good. That was worth watching.
PCO has re-upped with the company with Impact. So congratulations to PCO. Hard to Kill tickets go on sale Friday. So if you're going to be in Vegas, January the 13th at the Palms Resort and Casino, that's where the very first TNA return event will be for Hard to Kill. The Final Impact Wrestling plea, or whatever they're calling it, will be Final Resolution will happen in December. They just haven't said when yet. And that will be an Impact Plus show, so I'll be able to watch that. Oh, I'm sorry. It's December 9th in Toronto. I do apologize. I'll correct myself there. And is that a Friday, Don? I believe.
December 9th, did you say?
Correct.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the calendar.
Okay. I've got one right here. It's a Thursday. That's weird. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
That's Saturday.
Yep, that is a Saturday. So we're good there. Heath's contract has expired. He is now a free agent. So we'll see where that goes. And a guy in England by the name of Leon Slater, who wrestles for Rev Pro, he has signed a long-term deal with them.
What would you do if you're Heath? Or who do you think would want him? Or what do you think? Just go back to Impact again? Or
I think Impact's a good place for him.
Yeah, because do you think he would not go far in AEW? I don't think.
There's a lot of guys in AEW right now. Both them and WWE seem to be at critical mass from a talent standpoint, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor has announced that Final Battle will be on Honor Club, so it won't be an actual pay-per-view. I have Honor Club, so if we don't end up going, I'll watch it on Honor Club. I have to pay for it more than I already do. This week's Ring of Honor was an hour 21. It wasn't badly paced, but it just go to an hour and do more of angle development. I couldn't tell if they did it before or after Collision because this one could have gone either way. I'm going to say before because there were more people than I expected, but they still just got to let them exist on their own. Which leads me to a question, Don.
Yeah.
Where does Dalton Castle really fit?
And I love him. I do.
Because I feel like he's a little too He's too big for Ring of Honor. He's a big fish in a small pond there. If he went to AEW, I feel like he'd be a smaller fish in a bigger pond.
That's always the thing when he moves.
Conundrum.
Okay, so when you move people up, like you're always saying Braun Breaker, for instance, moving him up. Big fish, little pond. Now, same fish in a big lake, different story. And I love Dalton, and he's been ROH champion, 6-man champion, tag champion. He's done it all there. And he has a following wherever he goes.
Has he held all of their belts?
I think, I know I don't know about the TV championship, but
he's been pure champion though, hasn't he?
Let me look him up. But if they give him the push, because he has a following, it's kind of like in a way, and no offense to Alex or anything like that, is like the Danhausen. He has that kind of special bit, and people love that bit. But let's see. Champion one time, television champion one time, 6-time, Soaring Eagle Cup. But 2 times of the 6-man, but he never had the tag team championship in ROH.
He had the pure?
No.
Okay, so he's not a Grand Slam champion there.
Yeah, he hasn't had the regular tag or the pure, but he had the television 6-man twice, and it's kind of like that thing. People love him, and he has that special bit, but you got to press him and move him. And sometimes it's tough. And I don't know, does he want to do that? Like Danhausen, people have Danhausen, but what belts have Danhausen held?
Danhausen hasn't been around long enough, and he's got to stay healthy.
But I'm talking any belt. He's never held a belt at all.
Right, but he's a guy that doesn't need to. And plus, he's still early in his career. He's got plenty of time.
He never had the tag, part of a 6 tag, or never had the TV championship.
He's got time, Don.
I know.
Rachel Ellering is now the queen of Strong Smile. So adjust your rosters accordingly.
Strong Smile?
Yeah, because Strong Style, they're playing on that.
Okay.
I will say from Rampage, that Santana Ortiz match should have at least been on one of the other shows, if not that was a pay-per-view quality match.
Oh yeah, they were great. And I love the ending too.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where that goes. And then Mark Briscoe came back.
Yeah.
It was good to see him. SmackDown.
I will say this. I love what Santana Ortiz did after the match.
Yeah, I know. No, I agree with you. As I was saying.
That's really it's kind of making a point thing there very well, I think.
SmackDown.
Okay.
LA Knight not even letting Roman get to the ring. That whole segment was brilliant. I texted Alex and I said, there's no way logically LA Knight wins that match on Saturday afternoon. I hate that I am saying this because you know how much I love that guy. But I am full on here for the journey. LA Knight, Eli Drake, whatever you want to call him, he is firing on all cylinders and has been for a very long time. And I'm glad he's getting his due. I just wish this match wasn't at Crown Jewel.
Would you have saved it for Mania?
I still think he is my official pick to win the Rumble. But I don't know when that moment should be. Because I said last week on the show, I wouldn't do it till Mania after next. I wouldn't do it till 41. For him to get the belt, to get the big belt.
That far out?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's hot.
He's got staying power, dude.
I know, but being hot is one thing, and sometimes you take it, you got the fire, cook the dinner. Cook the dinner when you got...
I'm not saying I disagree, Don. I just don't know. Guys like us, we have followed this guy for years and years and years and years and years. To the average WWE fan, they don't understand his whole story. Even though WWE's tried to tell it, they still haven't been, in my opinion, They haven't been successful in helping people understand why this guy deserves everything he has. And then some, in my opinion. I just don't know that Crown Jewel's the thing to do with it. If they did, I will lose my mind. But like I said, I'm here for the journey because that opening segment to SmackDown was one of the greatest things I've seen in a long time.
And I loved him sitting at the table.
Yep.
Sitting at the head. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
And Street Profits, I like that when they turn heel, they change the music. I like when they do like what they do with Randy, who may or may not be back before Survivor Series. I'm hearing conflicting rumors. I like it when they turn heel, change the music. It helps. To me, it helps establish the identity change. That's just me. Escobar at one point told Carlito, let's take it home. I don't know if the camera was supposed to pick that up.
Oops.
And I really dig Dragon Lee's new entrance. That was, I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
That was cool. Go ahead.
Before we go back, we're on SmackDown talk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is it with Roman? Why are they shoving him down our throats all these years still? There's a point when he gets too old. Are they wanting him to break Hulk's record just to make a point now? Or
I don't know. I will tell you. Did you see the graphic that was put up the other day online?
No.
For him to get the all-time record to pass Bruno,
yeah,
he would have to carry that belt all the way through 2028.
But he's close.
Not going to break San Martino's record.
What about Hogan though? He's getting up to Hogan.
Yeah, I don't know that he breaks Hogan's record just because of Vince's relationship with him, but I think there's some guys that could take it. I just don't know if H has the same mindset as I do.
What you do is there's some kind of schmoz, and then what they do is here's the thing. They say it's too early this, too early that. We can't do this. It doesn't allow. Sometimes just do something that the people, the fans do not expect, which make you go, oh my God.
You're not going to hear me debate you on that.
Yeah, though. Yeah. And
we on this show, we look at things as realistically as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And given the track record of this, I don't like that they're giving LA Knight the shot now. Because it doesn't instill confidence in me.
Yeah, if
I had this much doubt, I'd have this much more than I do right now. And I don't like it. I don't like saying that because I love LA Knight. And I like Roman. I've always been a Roman fan. This isn't the match. And Roman's not scheduled for Survivor Series.
That's the thing. I would have, let's say he wins the Rumble in January 24.
Okay.
He says, I'm taking on Roman. You build that for 2 months. The night he wins the Rumble.
Right, but you said this, Don, and there's nothing that's going to make me disagree with you.
Yeah,
the many times you tell the story, because I do agree with you.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't think that creative has the same mind frame we do. Like when Paulie says he's an LA Knight fan, I believe that.
Oh, yeah.
But I also understand the logic behind Paul Heyman has worked very, very hard to get this thing to where it is because he books Roman. He and Hayes are the ones handling the bloodline storylines. That's it. And so this storyline has gone on so long. By the time we reach the end of this story and knowing of Paul Heyman as much as I do, there's a plan. And when it all comes to fruition, it's probably going to blow our minds. But I just don't think this is the time. Because you got to remember, we've been doing this for 3.5 years, bro. Because we say this all the time. Roman got the belt at the very first deconstruction we ever did. And that was in Thunderdome.
And that was
September of 2020.
Yep.
Payback. We're still trying to figure out how we're getting that done. So stick around because we love doing those. We just have to figure out how we're going to do it. Collision, Ricky Starks queuing up the commercial break. Sorry, brother. The other place did it first, and they did it last week. Did you, when I was watching the intros, and we're going to straight to the ending because there's nothing between the two that I cared about.
Yeah.
As I looked at, because you know how when they come to the ring, they show their records because AEW does that. MJF and Kenny Omega in 2023 have less than 20 singles matches between them.
They're mostly like tag.
Which I thought was interesting.
Well, yeah, but they save them for the big shows, I think. And that's the thing.
But I'm just saying, like...
Yeah. 20 matches. But wasn't Kenny Omega out for a while, though, too?
A little while.
Yeah, earlier this year.
He does a lot of the six-man stuff with the Elite.
I'll say I liked his costume when he came out. I did like that.
I will say, and Alex and I agree that this chant is overused.
Which one?
I haven't said it yet. But when people started chanting both these guys, that match was incredible. That is the other best match of the week, in my opinion. Becky, Lyra Valkyrie, and this match. Two best of the week. Because I got home late last night. Shout out to Phil for his birthday. Hung out with him yesterday. I was up late because I try to watch Collision on Saturday because I don't have a lot of time between when I get home from church and when we go on the air on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was up late and it was worth it. Like it was after midnight by the time I got to bed. And for a guy like me, that's a late night. But that match was worth staying up for. And it barely made it before my DVR cut off. So
I love how I loved how it was a clean end.
Yep.
You know, it was a good match. There was no schmaz, even though Callis kind of got involved for
I was glad that wasn't the finish.
Yeah, but still, it was when it came down to it was a fair, clean win.
Yep, agree 100%.
Yeah.
Only other things this week, MLW has said Fightland November 18th, which is the same night as Full Gear. Alex Kane will defend the World Heavyweight title against Jacob Fatu. And one of Alex's favorites, Alex Hammerstone, has asked for his release from MLW.
Really?
That would make him and Richard Holiday, which they were in a stable with MJF, both free agents. Richard Holiday apparently has been spotted at NXT shows backstage. Holiday's great. That's all I've got this week, Don. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about this week.
Trying to think. No, it was a pretty decent week. Not the best week, but still,
better than average.
Yeah, better than average. There were some good matches. I think that MJF. I always like Kenny Omega in the ring, but I will say that for me, technically it was shown the week before, but that Ospreay match was incredible, and so technically I saw it Thursday. But I mean, Friday. I watch it on Friday. But
yeah, I have to watch it on Friday because I don't get Access TV, so I have to watch it on Impact Plus, and it doesn't air on Impact Plus until late Thursday night. So, which is why I try to watch Ring of Honor Thursday night, so I don't have to watch both of them on Friday because that's a long stretch.
And we know people are listening. Ospreay, don't.
Let the man do what he does.
Please, as a fan. I love what you do, but going to that company, it's like MJF going to the company. They'll put a leash on you.
All right, let's do the plugs and take a break because top of the hour will be the Clubhouse podcast. Make sure you follow us on all of your social medias. Everything is The Cheap Podcast, including Twitch. Twitch now. We have Twitch. And we have TikTok. I don't know why, but we do. You can follow me if you like. Everything is Yes, That Rob Irvin. That is spelled ERVIN. My normal co-host, Alex, he will be back next week. He is Vexploit, VEXPLOIT on all of your social medias. And he wants you to know to check out our store at ProWrestlingTees.com. And if you've got ideas for designs, to email him, Alex@theclubhousepodcast.com.
And that URL to get those awesome shirts that even make me look good, prowrestlingtees.com/cheap podcast. And at Twitter, I'm @MagicBunu, NGBNUUU.
Send me an email if you'd like, if that's how you roll. Questions, comments, concerns, promote your local promotion. Tell me to go pound sand. I am rob@thecheappopcast.com. Charla Marshall is on Pinterest because we are morally obligated to say that. She is celebrating Hudson's birthday, and she just sent me a picture of him in the John Cena outfit she got him for Halloween. Our normal show every Sunday afternoon at 5:30 Eastern is your one-stop shop for all things professional wrestling. We will be back next week. So until then, or until top of the hour, when the Clubhouse podcast goes on the air, for Alex, for Don, for the Empire, I'm Rob. This has been the Cheap Popcast. Good night, everybody.